Avengers Doomsday Preview. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has faced extinction before. It survived the snap, the blip, and the collapse of time itself. But what's coming up next isn't another war for survival. It's a reckoning. Avengers Doomsday is shaping up to be one of the most pivotal chapters in Marvel's history. A film designed not just to continue the story, but to challenge the very foundations the universe has been built on. Scheduled for release on December 18th, 2026, this long-awaited Avengers installment launches Phase 6 of the MCU and begins the final march towards Avengers Secret Wars. At this point in the saga, the universe is no longer healing. The multiverse, stretched thin by years of interference, is showing signs of irreversible damage. Incursions, fractured realities, and destabilized timelines are no longer abstract threats discussed by sorcerers and scientists. There are consequences already unfolding. The cost of rewriting fate is finally being paid, and no corner of the MCU is untouched. Unlike the earlier Avengers film that centered on a single unified team, Doomsday arrives at a moment when Earth's heroes are scattered, divided, and unsure of their place in the universe that keeps changing the rules. Leadership is no longer clear. Victory is no longer guaranteed, and the idea that everything can be fixed with one final battle feels increasingly naive. This is a story built around pressure, consequence, and the uncomfortable realization that some damage cannot be undone. Marvel Studios has confirmed the film will be directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, marking the return to the franchise after Avengers Endgame. Their involvement signals a deliberate tonal shift back towards grounded emotional storytelling layered on top of massive spectacle. The Russos have consistently focused on character conflict as much as visual scale, and Doomsday is expected to continue that approach, placing personal choices and moral consequences at the center of a universe-level crisis. The film also represents a significant structural shift for the MCU. Avengers Doomsday replaces the previously announced Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, reflecting Marvel's decision to rework the direction of the multiverse saga. Rather than centering the narrative on a single time-traveling antagonist, the new approach broadens the scope. Doomsday is not just a villain's name or a singular event. It's a state of collapse. A point where systems of control begin to fail and long-standing safeguards no longer work. While Marvel has not revealed full plot details or an official cast list, the studio has confirmed that Doomsday will be a large-scale crossover event. Characters from multiple corners of the MCU are expected to converge as the crisis escalates, bringing together heroes who may not share the same goals, values, or understanding of what must be done. The Avengers as a concept are being tested more than ever, not just as fighters, but as decision makers in a universe where every option carries catastrophic consequences. Dr. Doom, one of the Marvel's comics' most iconic figures, has been confirmed to be a part of the MCU's future. Though Marvel has not disclosed the extent of his involvement in the Avengers Doomsday, his looming presence, however, aligns closely with the themes the film is exploring. Doom is a character defined by control, intellect, and an unshakable belief that the world must be shaped by a single guiding hand to survive. Whether his influence is direct or indirect, the idea of absolute order clashing with freedom and chaos fits squarely within the philosophical conflict Doomsday is building towards. Visually, the film is expected to balance large-scale destruction with a more restrained, character-focused perspective. Previous Russo-directed Avengers film often placed audiences at ground level during world-ending events, allowing the emotional impact to land before the spectacle overwhelms it. Doomsday is positioned to follow that tradition, emphasizing that the human cost of cosmic decisions rather than treating them as abstract set pieces. Importantly, Avengers Doomsday is not designed to provide closure. Marvel has confirmed that the film leads directly into Avengers Secret Wars, scheduled for 2027. That means audiences should expect an ending that feels unresolved, tense, and possibly unsettling. This is the opening movement of a larger finale, not the conclusion itself. The goal is not to reassure viewers, but to confront them with the scale of what's at stake and the limits of even the most powerful heroes. More than any previous installment, Doomsday reflects Marvel's willingness to examine the consequences of its own storytelling. After years of expanding timelines, alternate realities, and cosmic shortcuts, the MCU is turning inward and asking what happens when there are no clean solutions left. When time travel can't save you. When reality can't be written without cost. When heroism itself becomes a question rather than an answer. When Avengers Doomsday arrives in theaters on December 18th, 2026, it won't be promising easy victories or familiar comforts. It will be setting the stage for a collapse, transformation, and the final test of everything the Marvel Cinematic Universe has built so far. This isn't just another Avengers movie, it's the moment where the universe finally has to face the consequences of playing with fate and decide what, if anything, is worth saving.